We acknowledge that the impact of some of these delays and issues is not just financial, it's emotional. And we're accountable for that.
It's also important to note that for a lot of these members, the first time Hesta is contacting them about their case is when the ABC alerts Hesta to their case.
Stephen Reilly, welcome to The Business.
Well, thanks for having me.
Why are some members still unable to access their super funds?
Yeah, look, Hesta has just completed its largest ever tech project, and for most members, their interactions and their transactions are all happening as normal. There are some members who faced some issues, and to those members, I apologise. I apologise that they haven't had the service experience that they are used to at Hesta, that they deserve and they expect, and we are working night and day to sort out all of their issues and get them sorted out as quickly as we can.
How many customers still don't have full access to their accounts and their money?
Oh, let me be clear. Everyone has access to their funds at Hesta. That's not a problem. We have most of our services, all of our services are working as normal. We've processed over 120,000 payments, people accessing their money, over $800 million worth of payments. So accessing payments is working. There are some members, it could be a variety of reasons, who've had some issues and delays, and we're just trying to work through those case by case.
How did this actually happen? What went wrong? Is it a tech or a staffing issue?
Yeah, no. For the vast majority of members, it's business as usual, and they are experiencing the kind of services and access that they expect from Hesta. I think we've had some issues in the contact centre. I think that's a fair call, and we're accountable for that. The queue, the wait times have been too long, and we've tried to address those in a number of ways. We've put more contact centre operators on, we've extended the hours, we've opened on Saturday mornings as well. We opened on the King's birthday weekend a few weeks ago. We're doing everything we can to try and bring down those wait times. They're trending in the right direction. Personally, I think they're still too long, and we're accountable for pulling more levers to get those wait times down. And I think that's a big thing that we're trying to sort out for members.
7 weeks is quite a long time for the planned shutdown. I mean, why was it necessary to take accounts offline for so long? It would be quite unfathomable for a bank, for example, to go offline for 7 weeks while it transitioned to a new system. Were there any better solutions considered?
What we had to do with this was bring over all of the details for 1.1 million members. We had to bring over not just their balances, but their transaction histories, their tax calculations, their insurance premiums, all of their transactional history. And we had to, test that, make sure it ran safely and securely. And that takes, about 7 weeks. We tried our best to communicate this with members. We sent out, a million emails at the beginning of the year and 90,000 odd letters, so based on people's preferred communication channels. And we tried to give people as much of a heads up on this as we could. We put on some more people in the back office to try to work through some of these issues that I've talked about already. And that's what we're going to keep doing until everyone is back to that service level that most people are experiencing, but some people, as you point out right now, are not. And we're going to keep going at that until they're all sorted out.
The ABC's heard of people being forced to delay surgery and unable to pay mortgages because they couldn't access their super funds. Is it fair to say this ongoing shutdown has been a failure by Hesta?
To those members that we've let down, I apologise. That is not the service levels that they expect from Hesta, that they're used to from Hesta. And we acknowledge that the impact of some of these delays and issues is not just financial, it's emotional. And we're accountable for that.
Superannuation funds are required by law to act in members' best financial interests. I mean, this is obviously understood in terms of investment strategies and other spending usually, but has Hesta breached this duty towards the individual members who've been left worse off by being unable to access their own funds?
Absolutely not. We appreciate that the world we're coming into, that the world we live in now, requires members to have a personalised, contextualised, data-driven, future-ready platform so that they can have the kinds of experiences that they're used to, not just with banks or super, but with streaming or Uber or the like. We need to be that good, and the industry needs to move to the state-of-the-art type platforms that we've just moved to. This move is in the best interest of our members, the best financial interest of our members. Everything we do, remember, we're a profit for member fund. Everything we do is in the best interest of our members.
What sort of compensation is available to members who've been caught up in this?
We have a complaint or compensation process that members can apply to, and we'll work through those on a case-by-case basis. We are accountable for the services we provide, and we will look at all of those complaints and work through them all.
Stephen Reilly, thank you for speaking with The Business.
Thanks, Nadia.
Business reporter Adelaide Miller has been covering Hesta since April, and she joined me in the studio. Hesta's Chief Operating Officer says for most members, it's business as usual. Is that what you're hearing?
No, it's not. And I've been following this story for about 3 months now, and I've been hearing from dozens of members who say they have not received their money and they haven't received proper communication throughout the process. Now, Hesta's spokesperson this morning came out and admitted that in some cases, money has been sent to the previous administrator. So there's some cases where there has been a mix-up, but still hasn't confirmed how many people have been affected or in what sort of way. But the Super Consumers Australia CEO, Xavier O'Halloran, says he believes this has been a failing on Hesta's end to adequately plan and prepare for the influx of people who would be looking to access their super after the outage.
And what have members been telling you?
Look, it's really devastating. I've spoken to some people who have had to cancel or delay surgery because they didn't have the funds and therefore have had to endure pain for much longer than anticipated. People that have almost lost home deposits, spots in nursing homes, and then also people who have had to cut back on food, electricity bills because they just don't have the adequate funds. And it's also important to note that for a lot of these members, the first time Hesta is contacting them about their case is when the ABC alerts Hesta to their case.
And for those members who've experienced financial hardship, what sort of things can they do?
So there is a complaints and compensation process that members can follow through Hesta, and Hesta has said they are assessing those on a case-by-case basis. But Mr O'Halloran from Super Consumers Australia says that if you're not happy with that process, you can escalate that claim to the Australian Financial Complaints Authority.
Right, Adelaide Miller, thanks for the update.
Thank you.